The anticipated clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, set for September 13, 2025, in Las Vegas, has ignited fervent debate within the boxing community. This matchup pits two of the sport's most formidable talents against each other, but the significant weight disparity between the welterweight phenom Crawford and the super middleweight king Alvarez has sparked skepticism about Crawford's chances. Many experts argue that the jump from 154 pounds to 168 pounds is a bridge too far, even for a fighter of Crawford's caliber. Yet, Crawford's exceptional skill set and unshakable confidence have some believing he could defy the odds in what is being billed as a generational showdown. This fight, steeped in intrigue, raises questions about size, skill, age, and strategy, with opinions split on whether Crawford's brilliance can overcome Alvarez's physical advantages. Crawford, widely regarded as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, has an impeccable resume. Undefeated at 41-0, with 31 knockouts, he has dominated every weight class he's competed in, from lightweight to welterweight and recently at junior middleweight, where he claimed the WBA title against Israil Madrimov in August 2024. His ability to switch stances, lightning-fast reflexes, and surgical precision in the ring have earned him the moniker of a generational great. Crawford's ambidexterity, allowing him to seamlessly alternate between orthodox and southpaw stances, is a unique weapon that has confounded opponents throughout his career. His most notable victory came against Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023, a masterclass performance where he dismantled the previously unbeaten welterweight champion to become the undisputed champion at 147 pounds. That fight solidified Crawford's status as a boxing savant, capable of outclassing elite competition with both power and finesse. Canelo Alvarez, on the other hand, is boxing's biggest star and a four-division world champion. With a record of February 2, 61 and 39 knockouts, Alvarez has faced a who's who of modern boxing, from Floyd Mayweather to Gennady Golovkin to Dmitry Bivol. As the undisputed super middleweight champion at 168 pounds, Alvarez has established himself as a dominant force, blending a granite chin, devastating power, and ring generalship. However, his recent performances, particularly a lackluster unanimous decision victory over William Skull in May 2025, have raised questions about whether the 35-year-old Mexican superstar is past his prime. Critics noted Alvarez's low punch output, throwing just 152 punches compared to Skull's 293, and his apparent lack of motivation against a defensive opponent. Despite this, Alvarez remains a formidable figure, with his size, strength, and experience making him the betting favorite against Crawford. The weight gap is the central talking point in this matchup. Crawford, who has fought as low as 135 pounds and most recently at 154, is moving up two weight classes to challenge Alvarez at 168 pounds. This 14-pound jump is significant in a sport where weight classes exist to ensure competitive balance. Many boxing professionals, including British fighter Hamza Shiraz, believe this leap could be Crawford's undoing. Shiraz, in an interview with Fight Hype, emphasized that there are weight classes for a reason, and pointed to Crawford's struggles against Madrimov's physicality as evidence that the size difference may overwhelm him. In that fight, Crawford threw 433 punches compared to Madrimov's 275, but landed only 11 more, suggesting he had difficulty imposing his will against a bigger, stronger opponent. Shiraz predicts a stoppage victory for Alvarez, arguing that Canelo's ability to use his size and power will be decisive. Alvarez's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, shares this confidence, boldly predicting a knockout win without specifying a round. Speaking to Elie Seckbach of ES News, Reynoso acknowledged Crawford's skill, calling him a tremendous fighter and very complete, but insisted that Alvarez would deliver a different kind of performance than his lackluster showing against Skull. Alvarez himself dismissed concerns about his form, promising a more exciting fight in September. He attributed his low output against Skull to the opponent's defensive tactics, vowing to bring a more aggressive approach against Crawford. This promise of a reinvigorated Canelo has fueled speculation that he intends to capitalize on his physical advantages to overpower the smaller man. However, not everyone is convinced that size will be the deciding factor. Crawford supporters, including promoter Bob Arum and former trainer Jeff Mayweather, argue that his technical brilliance and adaptability could neutralize Alvarez's advantages. Arum, who promoted Crawford for years, believes the Nebraskan's ambidexterity will pose unique challenges for Alvarez. He noted that Canelo has struggled against southpaws in the past, citing bouts against Austin Trout and Erislandy Lara as examples where Alvarez faced difficulties. Arum predicts a wide decision victory for Crawford, suggesting that Alvarez's recent performances indicate a decline. He pointed to Canelo's fights since his loss to Mayweather in 2013, where questionable judging has occasionally propped up his record, as evidence that the Mexican star may not be the dominant force he once was. Eddie Hearn, the Matchroom boxing promoter, offers a more nuanced perspective. Initially favoring Alvarez due to the size disparity, Hearn has since leaned toward Crawford after observing Canelo's uninspired performance against Skull. He described Alvarez as looking unmotivated and suggested that Crawford's confidence and freshness could tilt the scales. Hearn recounted a conversation with Crawford, noting the fighter's unwavering belief in his ability to win. "When you spend time around him, he is so confident," Hearn said. "He has no doubt in his mind that he is going to win this fight." Hearn now sees the bout as a 50-50 proposition, with Crawford's movement and ring IQ potentially outmaneuvering Alvarez's power. British boxing icon Carl Froch provides a contrarian view, picking Crawford to win based on his belief that Alvarez is past his prime. Froch, in a June 17, 2025, interview with Foot Italia, argued that Crawford's talent and ability to grow into the 168-pound division could lead to an upset. He noted that Alvarez, with over 60 professional fights and a fortune earned, may lack the motivation he once had. Froch described Crawford as an unbelievable bad boy fighter with a strong mindset, capable of outclassing anyone in the ring. He suggested that Canelo's lackluster showing against Skull, where he avoided engaging with a mobile opponent, could be a blueprint for Crawford to follow. Former boxer Tony Bellew also favors Crawford, predicting a points victory based on his ability to outwork and outmaneuver Alvarez. Bellew emphasized that Canelo thrives when dictating the pace, but Crawford's relentless movement and pot-shotting style could disrupt that rhythm. He acknowledged Alvarez's status as the favorite but warned that all good things come to an end. Bellew added that if Canelo were to become the first man to defeat Crawford, it would cement his legacy as one of the all-time greats, given Crawford's unblemished record and reputation as an elusive puzzle. The physical dynamics of the fight are a focal point for analysts. Crawford, at 5 feet 8 inches with a 74-inch reach, is slightly taller than Alvarez, 5 feet 7.5 inches with a 70.5-inch reach, but Canelo's bulkier frame and experience at 168 pounds give him a significant edge in strength. Crawford's strategy will likely revolve around movement, using his footwork to avoid standing exchanges where Alvarez's power could prove devastating. Jeff Mayweather and trainer Derek Bussezi Andis both stressed that Crawford must avoid trading punches and focus on frustrating Canelo with speed and angles. The William Skull blueprint, as some have called it, involves constant movement to prevent Alvarez from planting his feet and unloading his signature combinations. Crawford's age and activity level are additional concerns. Turning 38 in September 2025, he is 3 years older than Alvarez and has fought sparingly since 2020, averaging 1 bout per year. This part-time schedule, as some critics argue, could hinder his sharpness against a fighter like Canelo, who, despite his own critiques, remains active and battle-tested. Conversely, Crawford's relatively low wear and tear compared to Alvarez's grueling 65-fight career could mean he enters the ring fresher, with less physical decline. The promotional build-up has added fuel to the fire. At a press conference in New York, tensions flared when Alvarez shoved Crawford after the latter stepped forward aggressively during a face-off. Alvarez claimed that Crawford's actions were orchestrated by Turki Alashik, head of Riyadh Season, to generate buzz for the fight. Crawford vehemently denied this, asserting his fearlessness and dismissing Alvarez's accusations. The exchange highlighted the psychological warfare at play, with Crawford aiming to assert dominance despite being the smaller man. Alvarez, typically respectful of opponents, warned that any disrespect would be met with a different side of him in the ring, setting the stage for a heated encounter. The betting odds reflect the uncertainty surrounding the fight. Crawford opened as a slight underdog with BetMGM, but the odds have tightened as analysts weigh his chances. The consensus among bookmakers leans toward Alvarez due to his size and experience at super middleweight, but Crawford supporters argue that his superior boxing IQ and adaptability make him a live underdog. The possibility of an upset looms large, given Crawford's history of defying expectations against top-tier opponents like Spence and Sean Porter. Strategically, Crawford's path to victory hinges on his ability to outbox Alvarez from the outside, using lateral movement and quick combinations to accumulate points. His ambidexterity could disrupt Canelo's rhythm, forcing him to adjust mid-fight to a southpaw stance he's less comfortable against. Alvarez, meanwhile, will likely aim to cut off the ring, apply pressure, and target Crawford's body to slow him down. Canelo's body shots, a hallmark of his style, could be particularly effective against a smaller fighter unaccustomed to absorbing punishment from a natural super middleweight. The fight's implications extend beyond the ring. For Crawford, a victory would cement his legacy as one of the greatest boxers of all time, proving he can conquer a bigger, elite opponent in a higher weight class. For Alvarez, defeating an unbeaten pound-for-pound star like Crawford would silence critics questioning his current form and add another marquee win to his storied career. Regardless of the outcome, the matchup promises to be a spectacle, with fans eagerly awaiting whether Crawford's skill can overcome Alvarez's size or if Canelo's power will prove too much. Some, like Hearn, speculate that this could be Crawford's final fight, win or lose, given his age and the magnitude of the challenge. Hearn also teased an even bigger potential matchup between Crawford and Jaron "Boots" Ennis, suggesting that a clash between the two undefeated Americans at 154 or 160 pounds could eclipse Canelo Crawford in excitement. For now, though, the focus remains on September 13th, where two of boxing's titans will collide in a fight that could redefine their legacies. As the boxing world braces for this seismic event, opinions remain divided. Shiraz, Reynoso, and others see Alvarez's size and power as insurmountable, predicting a knockout that underscores the importance of weight classes. Arum, Frock, Bellew, and Hearn, however, believe Crawford's technical mastery and mental fortitude could lead to a historic upset. The truth likely lies in the interplay of these factors: size versus skill, experience versus freshness, power versus precision. What is certain is that this fight will captivate fans, with the outcome hinging on whether Crawford can once again prove he's the best or if Alvarez's dominance at 168 pounds will prevail.